In a grand council chamber that floated among the stars, a diverse assembly of alien species gathered. Their shimmering colors and unique forms filled the room with excitement. Today, the council would discuss something unusual: the recent surge in human activities across the galaxy. Many aliens had heard rumors about these strange beings from Earth, and curiosity buzzed in the air like electricity. At the front of the room stood Raxor, a towering alien general with sharp features and a booming voice. His confidence radiated as he prepared to address the council. Beside him was Zira, a curious and thoughtful diplomat. She had always been fascinated by humans, even though many of her peers dismissed them as inferior. As the meeting began, Raxor took the opportunity to voice his opinions. "These humans are weak and primitive," he declared, his voice echoing through the chamber. "They could never handle real combat. Just look at their tiny planet. It's filled with chaos." Laughter erupted from the audience, and many aliens nodded in agreement. Zira felt a pang of frustration. She had read about humans who survived against all odds. "But Raxor," she interjected, "humans have shown great resilience. They adapt and innovate in ways we might not understand." Her words were met with more laughter, but Zira stood her ground, determined to make them see that there was more to humans than met the eye. As the laughter subsided, Raxor leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. "Resilience? What does that even mean? You think they can survive in the harsh conditions of space? They don't even have the technology we have. They're still fighting each other over resources." He gestured dramatically, emphasizing his point. The council members exchanged knowing glances, some nodding in agreement while others appeared curious. Zira felt her heart race. She knew she needed to defend humanity. "Yes, they have their challenges," she replied, her voice steady. "But that's what makes them unique. They live on a Tier-8 Warzone, surrounded by dangers we can't even imagine. They fight not just against each other, but against nature itself." Raxor scoffed. "If they are so great, then why haven't they conquered their own planet first?" His tone was mocking, and the audience chuckled again, reinforcing his position. But Zira pressed on. "Humans have achieved incredible things. They've landed on the moon, explored their oceans, and even sent machines to other planets. Their curiosity drives them to overcome every obstacle." Her passion was clear, and for a moment, a few council members looked thoughtful, considering her words. Feeling the tension rising, the council leader called for order. "Let's focus on the facts. We have to understand what this surge in human activity means for us all. Raxor, do you think we should look into these humans more closely?" Raxor crossed his arms and smirked. "Why not? I'd love to see them try and prove me wrong." The challenge hung in the air, and Zira knew this was just the beginning of something much bigger. The aliens were about to learn that underestimating humans could lead to unexpected consequences. A surprising revelation. The atmosphere in the council chamber shifted. While some aliens still laughed at Raxor's jests about humans, Zira sensed a growing interest among a few. They were beginning to see that there might be more to Earthlings than what Raxor portrayed. With a deep breath, she prepared to share more information about humans, hoping to change their minds. Zira stood up straight, her voice clear and strong. "I understand the skepticism, but let me remind you of a few key facts. Humans live in one of the most dangerous environments in the galaxy. Their planet, Earth, is filled with extreme weather, fierce animals, and even deadly diseases. Yet they thrive. They find ways to survive, and even innovate in the face of these challenges." Raxor rolled his eyes but remained quiet. Zira continued, feeling more confident. "Think about their history. For centuries, they have faced wars, famines, and natural disasters. Each time, they have rebuilt and learned from their mistakes. They don't just endure, they adapt. This resilience is what makes them unique." Some council members started to murmur among themselves. Zira could see that her words were sparking curiosity. One alien, a slender being with shimmering scales, raised a hand. Can you give us examples of how humans have overcome these challenges? Zira nodded eagerly. Of course. During one of their worst wars, called World War II, humans developed incredible technologies, including aircraft and medicine, to help them survive. They even sent people into space during the Cold War, racing against other countries to see who could reach the stars first. This competitive spirit has driven them to achieve things we often take for granted. Another alien, tall and with a complex array of colors, asked, "But what does that have to do with us now? Why should we care about their struggles?" Zira smiled, sensing an opening. Because those struggles have made them strong. Right now, humans are venturing out into the galaxy, seeking new alliances and knowledge. They bring creativity and new ideas that could help us all. They are not just looking to conquer, they are looking to learn. Raxer scoffed again, but Zira pressed on, determined to win over at least some of the council members. And let's not forget how they react under pressure. In their world, they face challenges that would terrify most beings. Yet, in the face of danger, they don't just run away. They fight back, often with ingenious solutions. They have even been known to use humor as a weapon against fear. At this, a few members chuckled. Zira seized the moment. Humans often laugh at things that would terrify others. They turn their fears into jokes, using humor to cope with their difficulties. It's a remarkable strength. If we can understand their mindset, we might learn something valuable about overcoming our fears as well. Raxer finally spoke again, his tone more serious. "So you think they can teach us how to handle fear?" "That seems unlikely." Zira nodded earnestly. "Absolutely. Their experiences can provide us with unique insights. Imagine a situation where a Deathworlder faces a dangerous predator. Instead of panicking, they might devise a clever plan to outsmart it. Humans do this every day. They find creative solutions to problems that seem impossible." The council members listened intently, and Zira could see the shift in their expressions. She knew that if she could convince them to take humans seriously, it would change everything. Suddenly, a young alien with bright blue skin and large eyes spoke up. "But how do we really know they are as strong as you say?" "We need proof." Zira grinned, sensing an opportunity. "What if we arrange a demonstration? We could invite some humans to showcase their skills and strategies. Then you could see for yourselves what they are capable of." Raxer's eyebrows raised in surprise. "A demonstration. That could be entertaining. I still think they will fail, but I'm curious to see what they will bring." As the council debated the proposal, Zira felt a rush of excitement. This could be the moment when humans finally got the respect they deserved. She imagined the Deathworlders showcasing their incredible adaptability and skills. Maybe then, the council would understand that humans were far more than just primitive beings. They were capable of greatness, and the galaxy was about to find out just how formidable they could be. The discussions grew heated, but Zira remained optimistic. She believed that by opening the door to understanding, they could bridge the gap between aliens and humans. Perhaps this was the first step toward a new era of cooperation in the galaxy. The council chamber buzzed with excitement as Zira's proposal lingered in the air. Aliens from different species exchanged whispers and glances, debating the merits of inviting humans to showcase their abilities. Raxer, still skeptical, leaned back in his chair, crossing his arms. "I'm still not convinced they are worth the time. What if they embarrass us?" Zira felt a surge of determination. "If they do fail, then we'll learn from it. But if they succeed, we may find allies in a species we've underestimated. This could change our perspective on Earth and its inhabitants." One of the older members of the council, a wise-looking alien with intricate tattoos covering its body, raised a hand for silence. "I believe Zira's idea has merit. Perhaps it is time we put aside our prejudices and witnessed the strength of humans ourselves. It is an opportunity for learning, and knowledge is the foundation of peace." The council murmured in agreement, and Zira could see the tide beginning to turn. Raxer shifted uncomfortably, but nodded. "Fine, let's see what these humans can do." but we should set clear parameters for the demonstration. If they fail to impress, we will not hesitate to dismiss them as mere creatures." The atmosphere shifted from skepticism to intrigue. Zira could feel her heart racing as the council leader began outlining the details for the event. They decided on a date and a location, the grand training arena where many elite warriors had showcased their skills before. Over the next few days, Zira worked tirelessly to coordinate the demonstration. She reached out to Earth, contacting various human leaders to explain the situation and invite them to participate. She described the council's doubts and the opportunity to prove themselves. To her surprise, the humans responded with enthusiasm, eager to show the galaxy their abilities. As the day of the demonstration approached, excitement filled the air. Aliens from across the galaxy arrived at the council chamber, curious to witness the human showcase. The arena was filled with spectators, buzzing with chatter about what would unfold. Raxer remained smug, confident that the humans would disappoint. Zira, however, felt a mix of hope and anxiety. She believed that the humans would surprise them. On the day of the event, the arena was alive with color and energy. Flags from various species hung from the walls, and the atmosphere crackled with anticipation. Zira stood at the front, her heart pounding as she awaited the arrival of the humans. The council members filled their seats, their eyes scanning the arena for the newcomers. Finally, the doors swung open, and in walked a group of humans, led by a tall, confident figure named Captain Riley. He had a commanding presence, and his team followed closely behind. They looked ready for anything, dressed in tactical gear that highlighted their training. As they stepped onto the arena floor, a hush fell over the crowd. Riley looked around, taking in the diverse faces of the alien council. With a charismatic smile, he spoke. "Thank you for having us. We're here to demonstrate the skills and creativity the humans bring to the table. We may be small in stature, but our spirit and determination are unmatched." The audience watched with bated breath as the humans set up their equipment, preparing for the first challenge, a series of tactical exercises designed to showcase their problem-solving skills. Zira felt a rush of pride as she watched her fellow humans prepare, her heart swelling with hope. Riley's team began the first exercise, which involved navigating a complex obstacle course. As they tackled each challenge, it became clear that the humans were not just skilled. They were innovative. They used teamwork, clever strategies, and even improvised tools to overcome obstacles that seemed impossible. Raxer's expression shifted from mockery to surprise. He leaned forward in his seat, clearly captivated. As the demonstration progressed, the aliens began to murmur with approval. The humans exhibited creativity, humor, and a unique ability to adapt to unexpected situations. It was a refreshing display that challenged the preconceived notions of the council members. Zira felt a wave of exhilaration as she witnessed the reactions of the crowd. Slowly, the laughter that once mocked humans turned into cheers and applause. It was a moment of triumph, and Zira knew that humanity was on the verge of proving its worth. With each challenge completed, the audience's skepticism faded. The humans demonstrated not just their skills, but also their indomitable spirit. They showcased how fear could be turned into laughter, how obstacles could be transformed into opportunities. It became clear to Zira that this was more than just a demonstration. It was a bridge connecting two very different worlds. As the event came to a close, Zira took a moment to reflect on what had just transpired. The council chamber, once filled with laughter at humans' expense, was now alive with admiration and respect. Zira smiled, knowing that this was only the beginning. The humans had shown the galaxy that they were more than what others perceived. They were resilient, resourceful, and ready to forge new alliances. The tides had turned, and the future looked bright for both humans and aliens alike. As the demonstration concluded, the atmosphere in the arena shifted dramatically. Aliens from various species stood on their feet, applauding the human team for their incredible performance. Raxer, who had been the loudest in his mockery, sat in stunned silence, his expression unreadable. Zira couldn't help but smile at the transformation happening before her eyes. The humans had not only proved themselves, but had also sparked curiosity among the alien council members. Captain Riley stepped forward, his chest puffed with pride, and addressed the crowd. "Thank you for this opportunity. We hope you've seen that humans can adapt and innovate in the face of challenges. We may come from a death world, but we're here to foster understanding and cooperation among our species." His voice resonated with sincerity, and the audience felt the weight of his words. The council chamber buzzed with conversation as the aliens began to discuss what they had witnessed. Zira could see that many council members were rethinking their views on humans. Raxer finally stood up. His demeanor shifted from arrogance to respect. "Perhaps we have underestimated you," he admitted, his voice steady. "You have shown us skills and tenacity we did not expect. I believe we should consider a formal alliance." The crowd erupted in chatter, and Zira felt her heart race. This was the moment she had hoped for. An alliance could lead to new opportunities and mutual growth. She stepped forward, ready to advocate for the next steps. "I agree, Raxer. An alliance would allow us to share knowledge and resources. Together, we can tackle challenges that no one species can face alone." Zira's proposal was met with enthusiasm, and the council members nodded in agreement. Discussions of potential collaborations and joint training sessions filled the air. Ideas began to flow as representatives from different species shared their strengths. Some were skilled in advanced technologies, while others had unique combat techniques. The humans offered a fresh perspective, combining creativity with practicality. As the council continued to deliberate, Zira approached Riley and his team. "You did amazing out there. The council is really impressed, and it seems like we are on the verge of forming an alliance." Her eyes sparkled with excitement. Riley grinned. "We just wanted to show what we could do. I think our differences could actually make us stronger together, but we're just getting started." His determination was contagious, and Zira felt a renewed sense of hope. Meanwhile, Raxer gathered his fellow generals to discuss their next move. "We need to ensure this alliance is beneficial for all. Let's create a training program that includes humans and other species. It could be an opportunity to learn and grow together," he proposed, his tone serious. As discussions continued, Zira realized that this was a historic moment for both humans and aliens. The idea of collaboration, once seen as a joke, was now becoming a reality. She couldn't help but feel a sense of pride in her species. The journey to understanding had only just begun, but the seeds of change were being planted. Later, as the meeting concluded, the council agreed to draft a formal agreement to initiate the alliance. The representatives from Earth were invited to stay and participate in further discussions. Zira felt an overwhelming sense of accomplishment. The mockery that humans had faced was now replaced with respect and admiration. As the alien council members mingled with the humans, Zira observed the atmosphere of camaraderie forming. Conversations were lively, and laughter filled the air. It was clear that barriers were breaking down, and the foundation for a lasting relationship was being laid. Humans were no longer seen as weak and primitive. They were valued partners. Zira found herself deep in conversation with one of the human engineers, discussing innovative approaches to technology. Ideas flowed freely as they shared their unique experiences and knowledge. It was thrilling to see how diverse backgrounds could lead to creative solutions. Meanwhile, Riley and Raxer shared their insights about combat strategies, blending their strengths. The alien general seemed impressed with the humans' unconventional tactics. "You approach challenges differently. It could give us an edge in future battles," Raxer admitted, nodding thoughtfully. As the day turned to night, the council chamber was illuminated with bright lights and laughter. The atmosphere was transformed from skepticism to excitement. Zira knew that they were witnessing the beginning of a new era, one filled with possibilities and partnerships. Zira stepped back to take in the scene, a smile forming on her face. This alliance could change everything, not just for the humans, but for the entire galaxy. Together, they could forge a future of unity, strength, and shared knowledge. The journey ahead would be challenging, but Zira felt confident that they were ready to face it together, no longer divided by species but united in purpose. As the excitement of the alliance settled in, Zira, Riley, and Raxer began to focus on the next steps. They decided to hold a series of joint training exercises to strengthen the bond between humans and aliens. The first training session would take place on Earth, and preparations were already underway. The day of the training arrived, and the atmosphere was electric. Humans, with their rugged determination, and aliens, with their advanced skills, gathered at a massive training facility in a remote area of Earth. Zira felt a mixture of anticipation and anxiety. This was a chance for both sides to prove their worth to each other. As they arrived, Zira noticed that many aliens looked nervous. They were accustomed to their own combat styles and technologies, but now they would have to adapt to human methods. On the other hand, humans felt the weight of expectations, knowing they had to impress their new allies. Riley gathered everyone for a briefing. Welcome to Earth, everyone. Today, we will demonstrate what humans can do in a real-life scenario. You'll see that we may not have the advanced technologies you're used to, but we have resourcefulness and determination. Together, we'll learn and grow. His voice was filled with enthusiasm, and it seemed to boost the morale of the crowd. The first exercise focused on tactical maneuvers. Humans demonstrated their unique approaches to problem-solving. They split into teams, mixing humans and aliens, and faced various challenges set up by the trainers. Zira watched as the groups tackled obstacles, showing creativity and adaptability. One exercise involved navigating through a dense forest filled with simulated threats. The aliens used their advanced scanners and sensors, while the humans relied on their instincts and teamwork. Zira noticed how the aliens struggled to understand human tactics at first. They were used to relying on technology, while humans thrived on intuition and collaboration. Riley, paired with Raxer, led their team through the exercise. Trust your instincts. Use what you have around you, he shouted, encouraging everyone. Zira could see that humans naturally excelled in unpredictable situations, turning their environment into an advantage. It was refreshing for the aliens to witness. As the day went on, tensions began to ease. The initial doubts about human capabilities slowly faded as the aliens saw firsthand how humans tackled challenges. The laughter and camaraderie that blossomed during the training reassured Zira that their alliance was growing stronger. After several hours of intense training, the participants gathered for a debriefing. Zira stood up to address the group. Today was a success. We learned from each other, and I hope this experience has opened your minds to new possibilities. She felt the excitement radiating from everyone. The atmosphere was no longer filled with skepticism, but rather with respect and admiration. As the aliens shared their thoughts, Raxer stood to speak. I must admit, I came here thinking I knew everything about combat. But today, I've learned that humans possess a different kind of strength. Your ability to adapt and think outside the box is impressive. The aliens clapped, and Zira beamed with pride. Riley chimed in. We all have our strengths. Let's continue to work together, combining our knowledge and skills to become an unstoppable force. His enthusiasm was contagious, and the group erupted into cheers. Zira felt a surge of hope. This was more than just a training session. It was the beginning of a meaningful relationship between species. However, they all knew that true trust would take time and commitment. As they wrapped up the day, Zira noticed a group of younger aliens hesitating to join the humans for a friendly game. She approached them and encouraged them to participate. Come on, it's just for fun, and we're all friends here. The aliens exchanged glances, then slowly joined in. The laughter echoed through the training facility as humans and aliens played games together. Zira watched as the boundaries began to blur and friendships were formed. It was a heartwarming sight. She realized that this simple interaction was just as important as the formal training. As the sun began to set, Zira knew that this day had changed everything. The alliance was more than just a political arrangement. It was becoming a bond of trust and understanding. The journey ahead would undoubtedly have its challenges, but they were ready to face them together. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the training facility as Zira, Riley, and Raxer celebrated the day's successes. Laughter and cheers filled the air as humans and aliens enjoyed their newfound camaraderie. However, beneath the surface of this joyful occasion, a darker shadow loomed. As night fell, the atmosphere shifted. Riley received a message on his communicator, its tone serious and urgent. He glanced at it and felt a wave of unease wash over him. "I need to check this," he said, his voice steady but firm. Zira and Raxer exchanged worried glances, sensing that something was amiss. In a secluded area of the facility, Riley connected with the command center. "What's going on?" he asked, anxiety creeping into his tone. The officer on the other end looked grim. "Riley, we've detected unusual activity near the outskirts of Earth. Several unidentified ships are approaching. They seem hostile." Riley's heart raced. "Hostile? How many?" "3 ships, heavily armed. They've already taken out a surveillance drone. We need you to gather the teams and prepare for possible engagement." He turned back to Zira and Raxer, urgency in his voice. "We have a situation. Hostile ships are approaching Earth. We need to act fast." Zira's eyes widened with fear. "We just formed this alliance. How can we defend ourselves?" Raxer, known for his bravery, straightened his posture. "We have trained hard today. We must trust in our skills. Gather everyone. We need to prepare for battle." With adrenaline coursing through their veins, the 3 leaders rushed to assemble their teams. Riley instructed humans to arm themselves and get into their ships, while Zira coordinated with the alien forces, urging them to prepare their advanced weapons and technology. As the teams gathered, Zira stood before them, her voice steady. "We have just started to build our alliance, and now we face a threat together. We cannot let fear overwhelm us. We must work as one." Her words resonated with everyone, giving them courage. The mixed teams quickly formed strategies, combining human creativity and alien technology. Riley led a group of human pilots, while Zira and Raxer organized the aliens' aerial forces. The atmosphere was tense but filled with determination. They were ready to protect their home. As they prepared for battle, Zira spotted Raxer checking the coordinates of the enemy ships. "Do you think they will attack?" she asked, her voice a mix of concern and resolve. "From what we've seen, they're here for a reason. They must believe that Earth is vulnerable." Raxer replied, "We will show them they are mistaken." With everyone in position, they received updates from the command center about the enemy ship's movements. Riley stayed in contact with the pilots, giving them tactical instructions. "Remember what we practiced. Keep formation and be ready for anything." Just then, a voice crackled over the communicator. "Riley, we have visual contact. The enemy ships are closing in fast." The urgency in the officer's voice sent chills down Riley's spine. "Everyone, prepare for takeoff," he shouted. The humans and aliens climbed into their ships, adrenaline pumping. As they lifted off, Zira felt a sense of unity among her team. They were no longer just humans and aliens. They were allies ready to face any challenge. As the ships soared into the sky, Zira glanced at Riley and Raxer, who nodded in determination. They were ready to defend their planet. The enemy ships loomed large in the distance, dark and menacing against the starry sky. Zira felt her heart pounding, but she also felt the strength of her allies beside her. They would fight together, no matter the odds. Suddenly, the enemy ships opened fire, and explosions erupted in the air. Zira shouted commands, coordinating evasive maneuvers. "Stay in formation. Watch your flanks." The ships swerved and darted, expertly dodging blasts. Riley piloted his ship with precision, targeting one of the enemy vessels. "This is our chance. Let's show them what we're made of," he yelled. As they engaged in battle, Zira marveled at the teamwork. Humans and aliens worked seamlessly together, using their unique skills to outmaneuver and outsmart the enemy. But just when they thought they were gaining the upper hand, the third enemy ship launched a surprise attack. It fired a powerful energy beam, striking Zira's ship and sending it spiraling out of control. Zira, Riley shouted in alarm. Desperately, she fought to regain control. "I'm okay. Just a little shaken," she replied, her hand steadying the controls. "I'll get back in the fight." The battle raged on, and Zira focused on her mission. They were not just fighting for Earth, they were fighting for their alliance. With a surge of adrenaline, Zira engaged the enemy ship once more, her resolve stronger than ever. "We can do this," she yelled to her team. The tide began to turn as their combined forces pushed back against the enemy. Zira could feel the energy in the air, the thrill of victory sparking within her. Finally, after an intense struggle, the last enemy ship retreated, vanishing into the vastness of space. Cheers erupted from the teams as they celebrated their hard-fought victory. Breathing heavily, Zira, Riley, and Raxor regrouped, their hearts still racing. They had faced a formidable enemy together, and they had prevailed. "We did it," Riley shouted, his voice filled with triumph. Zira smiled, pride swelling in her chest. "This is just the beginning of our alliance. Together, we can face anything." Raxor nodded, his fierce demeanor softened. "Today, we have proven that fear is nothing compared to the strength of our unity. The galaxy better watch out. We are stronger together." As they descended back to Earth, Zira realized that this experience had transformed them all. They were not just a group of individuals. They were a united front ready to face whatever the galaxy threw at them next. With a newfound bond and a shared sense of purpose, they looked ahead to the future, ready to take on the challenges that awaited them.